Yo, what's good? Welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. And the media world is blazing. But before we get started, man, I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me, been rocking with the podcast, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so you'll catch any time that Simply Ball Dropping uploads and drops a hot banger. I see everybody in the comments, man. I respond to everybody that posts his comments, man. I appreciate you sharing the podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Today's episode, man, it's a lot of things that's going on with this new Undisputed that we got to talk about. I've been seeing reports of different things, people's comments on saying this is what they think of the new show. This is what they think of the new format. I got my takes. I posted a clip on my TikTok, and a lot of people have, posted a lot of comments on their perspectives on what they see and what the show entails and things like that. And it just reminds a lot of people of Skip Bayless's cold pizza days, when basically you had three people going at each other, and there was one that had to be the moderator. But before we get started, like I say, I see everybody in the comments, hashtag salute. And just keep, telling a friend to tell a friend, man, about the podcast, man. We're doing great things over here at Simply Ball Dropping. We got the merch going. Like, all the merch is on www.simplyballdropping.com. Go ahead and just follow us on all our social medias. Our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our TikTok. TikTok is Simply Ball Dropping with no G, the number 1, K-Sap. So just follow us on TikTok. Follow us on YouTube. This is where we be hot and heavy doing our live shows and our podcasts. Before we get started, like I always say, DJ, kick the beat.
Yeah. Simply Ball Dropping. What's up, family? K-Sap, we up, ain't no stopping. I'm simply ball dropping like it's New Year's Eve, making you haters believe I'm the MVP. Ask Mr. V and R&B, they do all sports, whether it's on the field or the court, from the arena to the ring. What? You want to swing? I rope a dope like the one on this boxing thing. That's a punchline. I'm the greatest of all times. Got something on your mind? Hit us up on the line for that round table talk. Ask B Hunt and Sheena. And K-Sap 2, for their views on our dudes. Marriage Chronicles for you lovers. Oh, I'm married to the game. The championships, the only time I want to ring. K-Sap, the man behind the mic. Check 1, 2. It ain't a rap until I say it's a rap. Just fall through. Pull up the hottest pod smoking. Yeah, I got you open. This freestyle brought to you by James Ford. Paid promotion. Yeah. Simply Ball Dropping. You know what time it is. Pull up. Chop it up with your family, man. K-Sap, what up?
And now, your host of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, the man behind the mic, K-Sap.
Yeah, just like that, man. We ready to rock and roll, man. Shout out to my man James the Fourth for the hot intro. Yeah, so what we're here today for is the highly anticipated, the new season, the new drop of Undisputed with Skip Bayless. It dropped on Monday, August 28th. The new show, he introduced his lineup. He calls them the Dream Team, man. He introduced Richard Sherman. When he introduced Richard Sherman, they had a segment on, the video that went viral back in the days when he was on First Take, when Richard Sherman appeared on there and he called Skip out, and he's talking about Skip is not the smartest man in the room and things like that. And they hashed that out, and now he's part of Skip Bayless's new Undisputed. Then he introduced Keyshawn Johnson, brought Keyshawn Johnson out, and then he brought Michael Irvin, the playmaker, out. And that's his 3 new people that's on Undisputed. He's been off the air for about 2 months. He's still been heavy on his podcast and his tweets. And Also, he got a new intro. Lil Wayne dropped a new intro called Good Morning. And, Skip loves it. It's a fire intro. I'm not going to take nothing away from it. But the Dream Team and the first segment, I'm not going to jump to a lot of conclusions on this, but I just give my takes on how I see it going so far. Basically, you got 3 NFL Super Bowl champions that are appearing on your show. And it's like, these guys are real knowledgeable about football because they played at the highest level. They're Super Bowl champions. They're Hall of Famers. Michael Irvin's a Hall of Famer. Keyshawn Johnson, he'll get there. Richard Sherman will be there. The format is a good format, but when you got 3 heavenly mind guys that like to talk, especially Michael Irvin. And my take on this is Skip is almost predicated to a moderator of his own show. Remember, it used to be Jenny Taft with Skip and Shannon Sharp. But it seems to me the first episode for a whole hour, it's almost like Keyshawn Johnson, Michael Irvin, and Richard Sherman took over the whole show as Skip just sat back. And really, he was like biting his lips. He really couldn't get nothing in. Every time he would peek his head in to say something, Michael Irvin would shut it down and overtalk him like Skip wasn't even there. So it's basically like Michael Irvin and Keyshawn Johnson and Richard Sherman going at each other. They're debating. And Skip is just sitting back being a moderator. Yeah, Skip will peek his head in there, here and there, say little things, and then he'll just get over talk, and he's an afterthought. So my take on that is like Michael Irvin is basically in the first 2 days, because he wasn't there today. The first 2 days is like Michael Irvin has really taken control of the show, and he gets all his points across. And anytime somebody interrupts him, Michael Irvin overtalks them, and he's going to get his segment out. If y'all guys remember in the past, when Skip and Shannon was on there, every time Shannon would say something, Skip would interrupt him. And Shannon would always have to throw the pen down. Okay, Skip, go. And then Skip would be like, it's my turn. Michael Irvin is having none of that. Keyshawn is having none of that. Richard Sherman is having none of that. So basically the new format with the 3 guys that are on there talking, they're NFL sound guys. Now we know the NFL season is coming up, and it's going to be interesting for them to talk football and to really shut Skip down on a lot of things that Skip talks about. When you got 3 guys that's played in the NFL, Super Bowl champions, come with a lot of, pedigree, come with a lot of things, a lot of knowledge, a lot of smarts about football, they can shut Skip down. Like during football season, if you notice in recent, segments back, Shannon Sharp would shut him down. But Skip would try to overtalk him and guide the conversation the way he wanted to go. But I think with these 3 guys, it's not going to happen, because the first 2 days I've, seen clips and seen the comments is basically like Skip is reduced to a moderator. And these 3 guys are really taking over the show. And my take is, I think Michael Irvin is the one that's really taking over the show, because Michael Irvin, he's loud, he's boisterous, and he's going to get things in that he wants to talk about. And nobody's going to interrupt him. He's going to get his point across. And it seems like he gets his point across every time he gets the mic. And he just overtalks Skip, and Skip can't get a word in. And to me, I find it comical. But the knowledge that Keyshawn Johnson has, he's mild-mannered. So it's going to be very interesting, with this upcoming football season. But they say that Michael Irvin is not going to be on there every day. I think it's just Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays, along with Lil Wayne on Fridays. But you're not going to tune in to watch Lil Wayne, debate with Skip, because Skip is just going to run the whole conversation, because nobody's really going to tune in to watch Lil Wayne give his sports breakdown because he's a musician. You know, he's into music. You know, he can talk certain things, but nobody's really going to tune in to see what Lil Wayne got to say about football. You know, he's a Green Bay Packer fan. You know, he can talk about his team, but to dive deep into certain topics and conversations, Skip really has to basically guide him and control the conversation and lead Lil Wayne to the water so he can drink it, so they can get a good segment off. But when you got Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson, and Richard Sherman, you don't have to do that. So them guys really take control of the show, and they debating against each other. And it's good for TV, but how long is it going to last? How long is this going to work? Now, if anybody watched today's show, Michael Irvin wasn't on today's show. And it seemed like Skip had more control over his own show. He wasn't forced to be a moderator. Skip got his points across because it was only Keyshawn and Richard. So it was like more of a win for Skip because now Skip is being heard. He got his points across and he controlled the narrative. And them guys was just really there conversating with Skip, but Skip did most of the talking. And his mouth was open today. But to me personally, me watching on the outside looking in, I just feel Michael Irvin, when he's on there, it's almost like he dictates the show. Like he takes over. And Skip can't get nothing in. If you go back and watch that first segment, when they came on August 28th, that Monday morning, at the end of the segment, Skip Bayless was like, I couldn't get nothing in. You guys talked the whole segment. Y'all talked the whole hour. And that goes to show that, Skip, you wanted these guys. This is your new dream team. It's a great show. It's good for TV. A lot of people are going to be tuned in. Their first couple episodes, I mean, they had a lot of views and a lot of comments. There was a lot of negative comments, a lot of positive comments, but a lot of people are talking about the way the structure is because you got 3 strong-arm guys versus 1. And then, you know, when the NBA season commences, I don't want to sit there and listen to 3 NFL players talking about basketball. The only one I feel that has the knowledge and can talk some basketball because he's done it on, you know, Max and Kellum with Jay Will is Keyshawn Johnson. Michael Irvin, you know, he can talk a little basketball, but they can't dive deep. And when Shannon was on the show, Shannon did his homework. Shannon was real knowledgeable. Shannon's knowledge grew over the years with basketball. So it was a lot of things that he could get at Skip with. But watching 3 NFL guys when the NBA season commences, I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know what kind of format they're going to have. I don't know if they're going to have guys come in, you know, that are, you know, NBA guys and guests and break some things down. But in this situation, when the NBA season comes, it's going to be a win for Skip. It's really nothing that they can really debate. And then you watching all 3 of them when they had that segment yesterday when they was talking about LeBron coming up on this 21 season. It's going to be like all 3 of them guys are, you know, LeBron fans, Richard Sherman, Keyshawn Johnson, and Michael Irvin. And then Skip always goes against it. So it's going to be like 3 people ganging up on 1. It's going to be very interesting. So I want to see how that format plays out. But I just want you guys to listen to something that the reason why I say that I think that Michael Irvin will control the show when he is on. And just listen to this clip. And when we get back, we'll listen to it.
With Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, he works him out. He said, he says, ever since I worked out with you, it's the only kid that I've ever seen as competitive as you. Really? And he said, his name is Justin Jefferson. Wait till you hear it. Wait till you see this kid. And he was spot on. He was telling me about how when they worked out Justin Jefferson, he said, Jamar Chase has all these physical gifts, but just hanging out with Justin Jefferson made him understand how to work. I love this dude. I love this dude. I talked about last year. I loved him so much. I stepped way out on that ledge and called for Kirk Cousins to be the MVP because I knew once we start mixing system with talent, we were going to have an explosion. We talked about this earlier when you talk about the system beating system that we have in the league now. All these touchdowns I used to watch Jerry Rice get on those reverse motions and just shot to the end zone. I'm thinking, you didn't beat a cornerback. That was a system that got that touchdown. You know what I'm saying? And now you got Justin Jefferson in a system that produces like that. Hey, he was going to explode. He'll continue to explode. But putting him second, I don't mind you put him above quarterbacks. I have an issue with him being above the quarterback that made a meteoric rise in Jalen.
Now, just listening to that, now you guys know in the past when Shannon Sharp would go on for a minute to 2 minutes straight, Skip Bayless would interrupt him. Did y'all hear anything in that segment when they was talking about Justin Jefferson? Did Skip interrupt Michael Irvin? Now go back onto their YouTube channel, Undisputed, and look at some of the clips when Michael Irvin starts talking and Skip would try to utter a word. Michael Irvin completely keeps going. In the past, that wouldn't be what Shannon Sharp would do. Shannon Sharp would be like, Skip, I can't even get nothing out without you interrupting. Let me know when it's my turn. Shannon be like, what's your turn? And then Skip was like, it's my turn. Michael Irvin's not going for that. So that's what I see. So you guys, y'all let me know what y'all think about the new Undisputed. The Dream Team with Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson, and also Richard Sherman. And like I said, Lil Wayne dropped a fire intro. That is a fire intro. And he'll be on there on Fridays. So you guys, let me know how y'all feel, man. Just leave a comment on how y'all feel about the new Undisputed in the Dream Team and what y'all think Skip's role is right now. But like I said, I'm not going to jump to too many conclusions. It's only day 3. But from what I've seen, the first 2 days when Michael Irvin was on there with the rest of them, it seemed like Michael Irvin had a lot of control over the show in the segments because of how boisterous he is. And then if you guys looked at the show today, Michael Irvin wasn't on the show, and it seemed like Skip had more control and got out a lot of things and got a lot of things off his chest. And like I said, I dropped a little clip on my TikTok and everybody was in there. It's got over 16,000 views, over 100 and some comments, over 200 and some likes. So you follow Simply Ball Dropping on TikTok and you'll understand what I'm saying. A lot of people got their own perspectives on the show. So y'all let me know what you think. And like I said, I appreciate everybody that's rocking with me. Like I said, this was highly anticipated. Like Skip been off the airways for 2 months and now he's back. The cast that he has, the 3 guys that he have are great. Like I said, I'm glad that Michael Irvin is back in business because of how ESPN did him during Super Bowl week. They took him off the air for allegedly some things that a female said at a hotel, but there's no proof, there's no evidence, there's no audio for the 45 seconds that they were standing there talking. Nothing looked egregious to me, nothing looked out of place, nothing looked strange to me. They shook hands. Mike went on his way, she went on her way, and for 45 seconds, a video surfaced, and that got Michael Irvin taken off the air on Super Bowl by ESPN, suspended. So I'm glad Mike has found his way back in the media. Kudos to you, Michael Irvin, for being a stand-up guy, standing 10 toes down, letting people know that, nothing happened because there's no evidence of anything. There's no evidence. We have no clear audio of nothing. So Michael Irvin has did nothing wrong and ESPN treated him bad. And I'm glad that he found newfound freedom and a new start on FS1, also with Keyshawn Johnson. being laid off from ESPN. I'm glad he found work quick, fast, in a hurry, because he's a talented guy. He knows his stuff. And, when he was on the morning show with Max Kellerman, Jay Will, and Keyshawn, that was a show that I, looked at early in the morning on YouTube. And, they did some great things. And I'm just glad that he found his way back in. Kudos to him, getting a job back at Fox Sports 1. And also, Richard Sherman, he was doing some work with, Thursday night NFL with Prime. And now he's doing Fox Sports 1. So kudos to the, soon to be Hall of Fame cornerback. He deserves it. He's been doing work with the NFL, and, he's found a new pasture in his retirement, and kudos to him. But you guys let me know what you think, man. I appreciate you guys rocking with me. And once again, that'll wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
And also, today's show was sponsored by...
This episode is sponsored by True Choice Insurance. Here at True Choice, we take a different philosophy when it comes to providing you with your insurance options. We emphasize the value of the products we offer, instead of playing on the fear of you not being protected in your time of need. True Choice is affiliated with more than 60 insurance companies. This makes us one of the most independent agencies in the state of Texas. Please visit TrueChoiceInsurance.com for all your insurance needs. Boho Chic Boutique is dedicated to the lovers of fashion, specializing in bohemian chic handbags, accessories, and personal shopping. Visit Boho Chic Boutique at bohochictx.com. BOHOCHICTX.com.
Be Pressin'. Customize and press is what we do. We customize just for you. Shirts, mugs, masks, canvas prints, tote bags, tumblers, and more. Our goal is to bless, satisfy, and put a smile in your heart and on your face.
And that's all, folks. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. And once again, this is your man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.